The Bucks County Borough Council meeting for Monday, May 15th. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Mayor, I think we have a few presentations tonight.
The chief executive wants to move. It's called the mayor.
So we have several recognitions tonight for volunteerism and contribution to the community. And so we're going to start tonight with Anthony Hitta. And Anthony is here tonight in appreciation for your dedicated service as a member of the Doylestown Borough Historical and Architectural Review Board from 2020 to 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I came to Doylestown after graduating from Penn with my master's in historic preservation, and it was a great joy and honor to be able to serve the community. When I came here, I was going through a hard time in my life, and Doylestown was really a town of healing for me. And it means a lot to me to be able to give back to that community. And it saddens me that I'm moving out of the borough, which is why I'm no longer going to be on HARB. But it's a great town. I'll certainly be back, and part of the life here, I'm still going to be attending church in the community and whatnot. But hey, it's really nice of you to give me this recognition. And I think this is the first time I've moved out of somewhere where they actually said goodbye. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And next, we have youth recognition, who volunteered their time for boards and commissions and are at the point in their life where they're going on to something even greater than what they've done in the past. So I thought what we'd do is have everybody, all three of you, come up. Mason Lang, William Shandley, and our own Brooke Wasserman. So I'll start with Mason. This is an appreciation for your service as a student member of the Board of Managers of the Fanny Chapman Swimming Pool from May 2022 to April 2023.
Thank you. Just want to say thank you to everyone. I learned a lot through this process, and it was a great journey. Growing up around Fanny Chapman, learning what was going on behind it, was just a great experience. So thank you.
And William Shandley, in appreciation for your service as a student member of the Board of Managers of the Fanny Chapman Swimming Pool, May 2021 to April 2022, and the Human Relations Commission from May 2022 to April 2023.
I don't want to repeat much of what he said. Being behind the scenes is very fascinating at sometimes. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's way more entertaining than you expect it to be. Sometimes it's not, but thank you.
And our own Brooke Wasserman, in appreciation for your service as a student member of the Shade Tree Commission, May 2021 to April 2022, and as junior councilperson, September 2022 to May 2023. Thank you for your service.
I did not realize we'd be giving speeches, so I am in Crocs. Please do forgive that. But it has been amazing being here. I have loved learning about stuff that I don't know. I have loved being a part of things that I feel are bigger than myself. And I can say a great perk, as Mr. Davis said, was you get the inside scoop on everything. So that was quite fun as well. But it was just amazing to be here and to see the members of the community.
And we gotta do that, yeah. Big scoot. We have wheels on these things.
Cute. Just put a big C on it, like a big C. You just hold it back. Jack, just hold it up.
Thank you. And then this is not on the agenda this evening, but Glenda Childs, are you here? On Saturday, the Doylestown Bookshop celebrated their 25th anniversary. And I was going through certificates of appreciation, and tomorrow is exactly a year that we gave Glenda her 10th anniversary certificate of appreciation for owning the Doylestown Bookshop, or for purchasing it. So this is a certificate of appreciation to the Doylestown Bookshop in recognition of 25 years of providing a foundation for our attitudes, standards, and judgments, and shaping our thinking and broadening our imaginations. Thank you.
So 25 years ago, Pat Gurney bought the Doylestown Bookshop. It was then the Village Green, if anybody remembers that store. It was a chain, and so they were going out of business, and she wanted a hometown bookstore. And so she did. She created this amazing store. She made it through the big box bookstores and the e-readers and the online ordering because you all supported her, bought your books. You chose to buy your books with us. And Noni's right, I bought the store 11 years ago and tried to add author events and gifts, not book item, non-book gift items. And you all have continued to support us. So right now tonight, the reason I'm here by myself with no staff, we have, for you Eagles fans, Ray Didinger is at the bookshop right now signing books. So you all come out and support us.
Can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So, and lastly, I just want to real quick thank the Borough Council, though. Like, you have made it possible for small businesses to be downtown. So I'm very grateful for all that you do and the way that you listen to our voices, too. So thank you all.
Thank you. I'll give the mayor a moment to get it back up to her seat. Next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes. We actually have two sets of minutes to approve. The minutes from March 20th, 2023, from the council meeting of March 20th, 23. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And also, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the April 17th council meeting.
So move.
We have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. Oh, I'm sorry. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Mayor, do you have anything for us tonight?
Yeah, just a few reminders. On May 27th is the 30th anniversary of the 5K race. Memorial Day Parade is coming up on May 29th. And the Pride Festival team is hard at work And there will be a raising of the flag on June 1st. I think it's at 6 o'clock at the courthouse and then at Borough Hall. And the block party is on June 24th. And I would just like to thank everybody who came out to save Linden Elementary School. Thanks, it worked.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Public Safety, Mr. Frederick, do you have anything for us tonight?
Yes, Mr. President, we have consideration ordinance number 2023-4, creating a free 15-minute parking space at 80 North Main Street. Attached, please find ordinance number 2023-4, which creates a 15-minute free parking space in front of 80 North Main Street. The free 15-minute parking space will replace an existing 3-hour metered space. Council, at its April 17, 2023 meeting, authorized the drafting and advertisement of the ordinance, and the ordinance has since been properly advertised. Public Safety Committee is recommending that council adopt ordinance number 2023-4. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
We have one abstention? Okay. Motion carries.
The consideration of ordinance number 2023-5, creating residential permit parking on Harvey Avenue between Union and Doyle Streets. Attached, find ordinance number 2023-5, which creates residential permit parking on Harvey Avenue between Union and Doyle Streets with no parking for non-residents between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Council, at its April 17, 2023 meeting, authorized the drafting and advertisement of the ordinance, and the ordinance has since been properly advertised. Public Safety Committee is recommending that council adopt ordinance number 2023-5. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Honorable Mr. President, consideration ordinance number 2023-6, creating a no parking zone on Doyle Street between Broad Commons and Main Street. Attached, find ordinance number 2023-6, which creates a no parking zone on Doyle Street for the distance of 180 feet west from Main Street and a 2-hour maximum parking limit from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Council, at its April 17, 2023 meeting, authorized the drafting and advertisement of the ordinance, and the ordinance has since been properly advertised. The Public Safety Committee is recommending that council adopt ordinance number 2023-6. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any questions or comments from any members of council?
Just to clarify, I think the heading can be a bit misleading. The no parking zone that's proposed is on Doyle Street from Main Street, 180 feet to the west. And then from that point, another 360 feet, I believe, basically to Broad Commons, is a 2-hour 9 to 5 Monday through Friday parking zone. So there's two different restrictions on that stretch. I don't think the memorandum makes that clear.
Any other questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public?
I'm having a hard time. Hi, I'm Bob Kinney. I'm having a hard time visualizing exactly where this is, knowing where Doyle Street and Main Street are. Is there a map?
If you look out the back here and go to your right, that's Doyle
I
Street.
understand where Doyle Street is.
Okay.
As you enter Doyle Street from Main Street, there is a stretch of 180 feet directly adjacent to Main Street.
Okay.
It is not recessed parking. It currently has some temporary no parking standards to keep construction workers from parking. That will now be made permanent no parking.
Okay.
The recessed parking spaces that you see throughout Belvedere, where the curb is drawn back, not sure exactly how many spaces that is, will be 2-hour maximum parking, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Unrestricted at
All
other
right.
times.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. President, usually we have a fire company report. I do not see that this month on our agenda. I'm just bringing that up as a
Okay.
question.
I'll check and see where that went to.
Okay.
We did not receive one.
All right. Thank you very much. That is the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick. Mr. Brown, Public Works and Administration, you have anything for us?
Well, Public Works did not meet this month, but I did want to note that the flower baskets went up this weekend and they looked wonderful, as always, and that I had seen some line painting going on today. And with that, I'll pass that over to Mr. Ellinger for the rest of the details.
Thank you. There's a lot of stuff going on all the time. We just completed our 3 days of branch pickup, which is another fantastic service that the borough offers its residents that most municipalities don't. We're working on multiple water jobs, periodic repairs, and also breaks and whatnot, leaking services. We've been doing extensive tree work, both street trees and in the parks, and using our recently, in the last several years, expanded tree work capability and equipment. We've been doing storm sewer work. We replaced a significant section of storm pipe along Creek Drive 2 weeks ago. It was a fairly significant project Public Works was involved in, as well as repairing inlets. We were repairing an inlet actually on Clinton today. Mowing season has started, so we maintain all our parks, so that's a full-time operation for a significant portion of the crew during the growing season. As Mr. Brown pointed out, we do line painting, and we try to get a jump on that whenever weather permits. It's a losing battle sometimes. The paint fades faster than we can repaint intersections, so we appreciate everyone's patience with that. All those no parking zones you all create all require sign installations, significant sign installations. So that's an involved process. We have to do PA1 calls, make sure we don't drill through gas mains and when we install those posts. So that's a significant piece of our work puzzle. We've been working on the pump track, getting that cleaned up for spring and another summer season, and also doing significant work in the ball fields, on infields and dugouts. And Mr. Davis will attest that our ball fields have never looked better. And we're getting ready for our big road paving list. The week of July 10th, we're going to pave West Street, Court to Ashland, West Oakland, Main to Clinton, North Franklin, Doyle to Wood, and Hobanes Alley, the entire length. And then the second spin of paving, the week of August 7th, we're going to pave Spruce, North to Court, North Church, Selner to Main, Gulfview Drive, and the Plaza East parking lot. And that'll wrap up our 2013 paving season. And then we'll get into leaf pickup. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ellinger. I have nothing more, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Community and Government Affairs, Mr. Bell, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Mr. President. We did meet. We have no matters before council. Just a few notices. First, the mayor mentioned it's the 30th anniversary of the 5K. And I was just thinking that's like 150K. So that's good. I want to mention, too, that between now and the next council meeting, the Pride Festival will be underway. And the festivities kick off June 17th, but the actual recognition of Pride Month starts on June 1st with a 6 p.m. flag raising at the County Administration Building. And then finally, I would be remiss in the CGA report to not mention our amazing Memorial Day parade. So I hope that you all participate and enjoy it, and we're all looking forward to it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Zoning and Planning, Ms. Jarrett.
We did meet this week. First on our agenda is the consideration of ordinance number 2023-07, adding steep slope regulation to the subdivision and land development ordinance. Attached, please find the above referenced draft of subdivision and land development ordinance amendment prohibiting the disturbance of steep slopes. Disturbance of steep slopes is known to cause erosion and accelerated runoff and degrade water quality. The attached ordinance prohibits disturbance of slopes greater than 10% that span more than 30 feet. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommends the adoption of the ordinance, and if council is in agreement with the recommendation, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next up, we have the zoning hearing board report, which I will give to Ms. Highland.
Thank you. The zoning hearing board will be meeting this Wednesday at 7 p.m. They will be hearing an application for 189 South Main Street, which is at the intersection of Hillside and South Main. The applicant is requesting a special exception to convert their lower level commercial space into a dwelling unit, which would then change the use of the property to a multifamily low-rise. Along with that request, they are requesting variances from several dimensional requirements. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. Next up is the HARB report. In its regular monthly meeting, the Borough of Doylestown's Historic and Architectural Review Board, HARB, recommended the following: a sign application for 30 East Oakland Avenue with Raymer's Candies as the applicant. The HARB recommended that council approve the application as presented, with the recommendation that dimensions of both vertical signs be 26 inches by 120 inches. A building application for 57 West Court Street, which was a demolition and new construction for ALOK Investments, LLC. The HARB recommended that council approve the demolition component of the application as presented. Design for the proposed new construction is continued as agreed to by the applicant. Next was 75 West Ashland Street for a roof and deck replacement. Craig Sweeney is the property owner, and the HARB recommended that the council approve the application as submitted. Next was 299 Maple Avenue for a garage addition with Sarah Webster as property owner. The HARB recommended that council approve the application as submitted. 238 East Court Street, a building addition and window replacement amendment for Richard Jackson, the property owner. The HARB recommended that council approve the amended application as submitted with the modified hip roof on the side as appropriate to avoid conflict with the existing roof. 115 Cottage Street for window replacement, a Nicholas Farina applicant. The HARB recommended that council approve the application as submitted with the condition that replacement windows be 2/2 with grills or muntins and spacer bars. 82 North Hamilton Street, chimney removal. Rick Brown was the applicant, and the HARB recommended that council approve the application as submitted. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommends that council approve the applications in accordance with the staff's recommendation, and if council wishes to follow the committee's recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? I heard a second in there. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And finally, we have the code enforcement report and the building inspection report, which can be found in the packets. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Jarrett. Environment and Rec, Ms. Margolis, do you have anything for us?
Mr. President, we did not meet this month, but the Shade Tree Commission had a successful tree giveaway, and the EAC began the 60-day period to advertise the bag ban, which takes full effect on June 23rd. And as an Earth Day project, the EAC and some others went around to various businesses to distribute signage, and that was also successful. And that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Margolis. Water Utility, Mr. Lavrone, what do you have for us tonight?
3 items tonight, Mr. President. One is a professional services agreement, and then we have 2 requests to advertise 2 ordinances. The first thing is the CKS Aero, ARRO, Professional Services Agreement, and I'll just read that for you. As you know, CKS Engineers, our longtime water engineer, recently merged with ARCO Consulting Company. Previously, CKS has not had a formal professional services agreement with the borough, but is requesting one now per ARCO policy. The solicitor and staff have reviewed the attached agreement and have no objections. The Water Committee and staff are recommending that council approve the professional services agreement. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it may do so by motion, and I hereby make that motion.
Second?
Do we have a second?
Yeah, second.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and the next item is the authorization to advertise ordinance establishing requirements for construction of water mains and appurtenances. Attached, please find the above referenced ordinance. The ordinance codifies the technical manual known as the, quote, standard specifications for construction of water mains and appurtenances, unquote, recently created by the water engineer and the chief water operator. The Water Utility Committee is recommending the council authorize the advertisement of the ordinance. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it may do so by motion, and I do move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and the last thing is the authorization to advertise another ordinance for cross-connection control program. Attached, please find the above referenced ordinance. The ordinance creates an EPA-mandated cross-section control program for our water customers to determine potential cross-connection hazards and enforce rules regarding installation and testing of backflow prevention assemblies. The intention is to enter into an agreement with a third party and to implement the program under our supervision. I had reported on this, our meeting with that particular third party on the Water Committee a month or 2 months ago, I think it was. The Water Utility Committee is recommending that council authorize the advertisement of the ordinance. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it may do so by motion, and I do move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Larone. Ms. Popkin, what do you have for us on finance?
Yes, Mr. President, I have 2 items. The first item is the consideration of Resolution 2023-7. This is amending the Sterling Act. And attached, you will find the Resolution 2023-7 requesting an amendment to the Sterling Act to require up to 1% of earned income paid to non-residents of the City of Philadelphia and collected under the requirements of the Philadelphia wage tax to be remitted to the municipality in which the taxpayer resides, if that municipality has enacted an earned income tax. You will also see an attached summary of the number of Bucks County residents working in Philadelphia and the total estimated EIT loss to each municipality. The Finance and Pension Committee reviewed this information at their May 11th, 2023 meeting, and we are recommending the resolution be adopted. If council is in agreement with the recommendation, the resolution may be adopted by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of the council? Hearing none. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next item on the finance pension report is the finance report, and I'll turn that over to Ms. Brinker.
Thank you, Ms. Popkin. Everybody was given the finance report for the month showing prepaid bills, accounts payable, and payroll. The total for all funds is $785,291.75.
Thank you, and I would make a motion to approve this.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that's the end of my report, Mr. President.
Thank you. I think I'm up next. Personnel. We did not meet this month. I don't have any report. However, Mr. Ellinger, Are you fully staffed with your summer replacements at this point?
I believe so.
Okay, good, because I had heard a week or so ago there were still some openings.
I think we could still probably use somebody.
If you hear of anyone who's looking, we would certainly like to see all worthy candidates come our way. We're right on the edge. We have 4 people signed up right now. We've done 4 and 5, depending on the season. We'd like to have a dedicated watering person, and we think we have somebody lined up for that. So
Okay. Just wanted to check, make sure. Thank you. And that concludes the personnel report. Professionals report. Mr. Daugherty, what do you have for us? Anything?
Thank you. I have nothing to report tonight.
Solicitors report. Mr. Griffin.
No report this evening.
And Central Bucks Regional Police Chief.
Thank you. Nothing to add tonight.
Okay. And lo and behold, I have a president's report.
Whoa.
Lo and behold, it's National Police Week this week, May 14th, May 20th. I want to express our appreciation to the men and women and our canine officers of the Central Bucks Regional Police Department for all they do for us. These men and women work hard every day to keep our communities safe. Thank you for all you do. That concludes the President's report. Any items of old business? Hearing none. Any items of new business?
I do, Mr. President. I've got
Yes, sir.
2 things. First off, wanted to congratulate the Doylestown Dragons girls rugby team, which is going to compete in the state finals in Reading this Saturday, as well as the Doylestown, the junior boys team as well. They're also in the state finals this weekend as well. The second thing is I'm proud to announce that former junior member of the Parks and Rec Committee and my daughter, Megan Brown, graduated from the University of Rochester this past weekend and was one of 7 in the class awarded the Dean Josephine C. Asbury Award for Commitment to Community Award for her community work during her time there. Megan's involvement on the Parks and Rec Committee encouraged me to apply for the Environmental Advisory Committee. Today, a memory reminded me that it was on this day 6 years ago that she was approved by council for her role on the Parks and Rec Committee. When asked at her interview for that, she was asked how long she had been helping at the fire company, and she replied, "Since I was born." She has taken a job as a medical caseworker in Rochester. Another Rochester alum, our governor, Josh Shapiro, was the keynote speaker at her commencement, and I'm a very proud dad. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I would just like to encourage everybody to go out and vote in the primary election tomorrow.
Thank you. Polls are open from what, 7 to 8?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. to 8 p.m., I think, right? Anything else?
Be square.
Open public comment. Anybody have anything they'd like to bring to our attention? Hearing none, we'd have no executive session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Second, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.
7:30, not
Not bad.